I'm one of the, I guess you could say, the silent organizers of this group. But I have a quick question. We're putting together a couple of workshops. I work at the AI Alliance, and we're putting together a couple of workshops on building agents. And very specifically, what we're trying to do is be very, very effective in helping people build agents. And so what I've come up with is like three things or goals, or there's three goals. And I'd love your feedback if you're interested. But the goals are, how can we find an agent to teach people to build that is broadly applicable? Okay, like meaning that a lot of people are going to find this valuable to learn how to build. Easy to build, right? You don't want to have a workshop that takes forever. You got to get some value to them quickly. Broadly applicable, easy, like MVP, but also valuable. Okay, it's like a Venn diagram. There's like a sweet spot, right? So what we've come up with so far is, all right, you got to find some sort of orchestrator. You don't have to, by the way. You really don't need an orchestrator, by the way. You can just write this agent code by yourself, but a lot of people find comfort in having, some sort of framework that kind of does things for them. And then there's a lot of steps. And what we've found so far is we think that some sort of deep research type agent initially is very good because you can go out and get information, pull it back. There's not a lot of complexity there. You're just going out. If you have subject matter expertise, that's up to you. You go figure that out. But we can teach you how to do all of that, how to go get the information, do the deep research, pull it all in, evaluate all that kind of stuff. That stuff is all the same. You got to have your subject matter expertise. And then, of course, to do that, you're most likely going to need to go get some different data sources, right? And so you might get the data sources from an API, an MCP, a data set somewhere out there, and or web scrape. Go get the data set. So that's what we're thinking about doing: is building the workshop. Use a orchestrator, use some MCPs, go get the data. We show you how to do that in a deep research sort of way. Pull that data back in, use an LLM if you need to here and there, and then provide the results back to the users. And I'm curious to ask you, what kind of, first of all, does that seem like a reasonable approach? You see anything that you would do differently than taking this approach to teaching people how to build some sort of agent? Would you go in a different direction, for example? Does anything come to mind? Yeah, what different agentic patterns? Because you can go read up on the Anthropic website. They've got all these different kind of patterns that they've suggested. So yeah, we can go look at different patterns. Okay, and one last thing is, are there any particular, if you were to kind of go down this path, are there any particular MCPs that you think, whether specific ones or types, that you think would be useful to include in a workshop like this? Are there any things that you have that comes to mind? Yeah, for example, you could like an MCP that were to, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them out there, right? But so far, I haven't seen a whole lot of them that have been very valuable. I've heard about them, yeah. They've got a variety of them, don't they? Yeah, they have a lot of them. Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of them now that are aggregating the different MCPs. Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of if we wanted to help you build your own, kind of thinking about that direction. And I think going and getting data seems to be like the most appropriate thing to teach people to do. Make an API, wrap it in an MCP, make it available to an agent. Use an LLM if you need to. Either before or after, something like that. Anyway, that's what we're thinking. But yeah, I need to make sure we look at the different aggregators who have all the different, many MCPs. Yeah, there's a project that we're using right now it's actually called MCP Agent. And the whole idea there is you can actually go create an agent just using MCPs. And if you want, you can take your agent and expose it as an MCP. So it'll expose right into your IDE or whatever you want. But That's what MCP agent is. So if you want, you can check that out. All right, that's it. Yeah, so we'll let you know if we do the workshop. I'll make sure to send it out if you guys want to join. It'll be free. Yeah. In 2 to 4 weeks. Yeah. I'm working with a guy named Mike Prince, and he's pretty good at this stuff. All right. All right. Thanks for the feedback. Appreciate it. It'll probably be afternoon, like 4 to something like that. So if people want to duck out of work a little early, they can. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks for letting me ask the questions.